Hey, welcome fellow escapees. So if you are new here, this channel is all about personal finances. I help individuals, couples, and those looking to escape their dreaded 9 to 5 and live a life of locational freedom as well as financial freedom. So if you want to know when I drop my next videos, please hit that like and subscribe button and you'll get a notification of every time I drop a weekly video. So in today's video, I want to go over a few things that I have either done myself or I know people who are doing this to make an extra $500 a week. So that's about $2,000 a month. And then what can you do with that kind of extra income? All right, so I have had to hire out over the years different professional services or products and things like that to help me with my life or my business. So I'm just going to share with you some of the people that I've hired and how they're making extra money by working for me, but they also work for other clientele as well, and it has helped them either turn it into a full-time business or make some extra money to supplement their income. So being in real estate, of course, I have to hire a handyman and contractor. I mean, it's just given. But I noticed that I would talk to some of these handyman and contractors, and some of them would have extra jobs, like a full-time job in the morning, and they would come over, like nights or weekend and help me with some rental rehab projects when I was flipping houses or fixing up a house. Or some of them have been able to leave their corporate job or any job that they were working at that time. It doesn't have to typically be the 9 to 5 corporate. It could be just any job they were working, warehouse, restaurant, whatever they were doing. So they were able to leave that job once they built up enough clientele being a handyman. But I noticed that I was paying some of the handyman, if you have this skill, this is an excellent side hustle. I think it's just the perfect side hustle, especially if you have the skills and you're honest. The word will get around, referrals will come in, and it's not a hard business to start because you really just need business cards and a few tools to get started. And then as you grow, you can go to Home Depot and Lowe's, Ace Hardware, things like that, and just rent equipment if you need it for a job or a project, or purchase equipment as your business grow. So it's very easy to get into this business, but the thing is finding reliable, honest, good, hardworking contractor is hard for almost any homeowner, commercial real estate building, apartment building, single family homes. So if you are that person, this can be a thriving business for you. So usually, like if I have a faucet I need changed out, if it doesn't have a plumbing issue, then I normally pay anywhere from $75 to $150 for the faucets to be, unhooked, and then they put a new faucet in. So you can definitely see how just 2, 3, 4 clients a week can definitely turn into 500 or more a week for you. I also needed handymen to help repair like holes in the wall. Like if a tenant leaves a hole in the wall, then you have to redo the sheetrock and patch it, texturize and paint. Depending on the size of those holes, that could range from $500 to $1,000 or $2,000 jobs, just depending on what was needed. The handyman also had to paint the ceiling for me, and because of the angle of most ceilings and how high they are, they normally charge between $2,000 to $5,000 to do that as well. So that's how you can make that extra $500 a week to $2,000 a week. I've also needed handyman to come over and paint rooms, and I will be charged anywhere from $100 on a low end to $500 per room. And that's not even including the ceiling. That was just the room. So I will have people charge that much. So that's an easy way for you to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month doing handyman work. And of course, if you need to lay down tile or That could be flooring is anywhere from, at least a good grand if it's a small room to a good, $5,000 or $10,000 job as well, depending on the size of the project, the home, whether it's a commercial building, whether it's a single family building. Another way you can make some extra income is you can be an assistant for people. You can be a part-time assistant, you can be a full-time assistant. But a lot of entrepreneurs, single mothers or married couples, regardless, if their marital status, but a lot of people just need help. They just need an extra help. They're working full-time jobs. They're working 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, and they need someone to step in and just help them out with different chores and errands for their home. They need almost like a house estate manager or manager. Even if it's not a luxury house, they still need like someone to help them manage the home. So you can definitely reach out to people in the community and ask them, do they need an assistant for anything? They may need you just to go stand in line and get concert tickets for the kids, or stand in line and go, wait for the new iPhone or something. I don't know what they need, but you will be surprised what people need help with and what they were willing to pay you for. All you have to do is get your name out there and ask. And typically, a personal assistant part-time can generally ask for like anywhere from $20 to $75 an hour. It all depends on what they need you to do and what you're doing. You can go personal shopping and help them pick up, get the clothes for some of the housewives. You can schedule their hairstylist, makeup artist to come, masseuse. There's just so much people need help with that can, that's easy businesses and things to start that you can be doing in the evening or on a weekend that can bring you in that extra income that you need. So I want you to think outside the box. There's so much that I cannot even cover in this video that I've heard people are doing out here to get extra money and to make extra money that I would not have even thought someone would pay me to do. I know being on social media, we definitely need more good quality social media managers, good quality social media content creators, things like that, right? That job alone, I rarely get quotes. I get quotes between $500 to $3,000 a month just for me. So I know if you take on 1 or 10 up to 10 clients a month, you could definitely have a really good side hustle. And even if you, or you can turn that into a full-time business. But one of the things I will say, I do notice that social media management companies have told me, or people who have started their social media companies on the side, they said that, dealing with entrepreneurs, the money's kind of up and down. It is iffy, it really is. Because until you get enough clientele or a stable clientele or make a really big name for yourself, that income can fluctuate because a lot of entrepreneurs' business and income fluctuates. So then they may be able to hire you for, let's just say, a few months or a year to do projects for them. But then when times get tough in the economy and business slows down, they may not be able to pay you at that time. But other than that, it's a wonderful business to start on the side. And so many companies are starving. I hear so many companies that need help with social media because they don't understand really how the algorithms work, how to get their brand and their name in front of more people. So if you have that marketing background and skill, make sure you put that to good use. And you can definitely, at the bare minimum, make $500 just with one client. So I know for sure with more clients, you are definitely at anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 a week at the bare minimum, because I've actually seen people do it. So that's something you can do from home. That's something you can start with very little money, but you definitely got to learn the algorithm and the way that all those bigger social media platforms operate. Another thing that I myself have needed help with, and I know a lot of other entrepreneurs have reported they need help with, that you can probably start and make some good extra money, is we need great copywriters. People who know, you'll be surprised, a lot of people don't know how to write. And even though a lot of people went to college like myself, I like finance and numbers. And then there's other people that are good at writing and math and telling stories. So there's certain people who have a really good gift at being able to tell a story and relate to other people with their marketing message. So if you're really good at like telling stories, grabbing the attention of people, and writing and copywriting, oh my God, minimum 1,000 a week, minimum. And if you're doing anything less than that, you're probably undercutting yourself. But people need your help with writing blogs. They need your help with working with those social media companies to write the content or the caption below. They need your help with writing articles for magazines and newspapers. You are so in demand if you have a good writing background and good writing skills, or willing to develop your writing skills. Minimum 1,000 a week. I can't imagine you getting anything less than that unless you're really lowballing yourself. But minimum 1,000 a week. And there's tons of businesses, companies, and people that once you showcase your skill set, I can't imagine you don't have a job or you don't have some kind of side gig or hustle. You can work anywhere in the world doing this. So the world is your oyster. There was a guy, I want to say he was oh my gosh, was he like 20 or something? And I want to say he, when you go out to look for jobs, they want to pay you $8 an hour, $12 an hour, $15 an hour. But he realized, that wasn't enough. He wasn't able to live off that kind of money. And, when you're young, sometimes you don't have enough job experience on your resume, so you really can't find those jobs that pay you, higher, like 20, 30, 40 bucks an hour. So he started a car detailing business, and I think he's over like a couple of hundred, like not even 100 grand. You know how people are like, oh, if I make 50 or 100 grand a year, that'll be great. I think he's like at 300 or 400 grand a year now. So car detailing is also in demand in most major cities, and everybody drives. There's a lot of cars on the road. So if you could find a few clients that have the discretionary income that is willing to pay for you to come to their home or come to their business and detail or wash the cars. I know for my SUV, I pay, I want to say $150 or $180 to have it detailed, but I do know there's places that charge about $200, $220 to detail in my city. So at the bare minimum, you're gonna get $150 a car. So you do a few cars in one day, you have that $500. Now, of course, your goal might be a little more than a few, 2 or 3 cars a day, but I'm just saying at the bare minimum, 3 cars at $150, you have that'll make it like $450, but you're almost there. But you guys get what I'm saying. Just do the math to make it work. But 3 to 4 cars one day out of the week, you got your $500 a week plus your other job. But of course, as the word gets out about how awesome you are, how awesome your car detailing business is, the word will spread. You will have a good amount of clients, especially using your social media and showing people how great you are at detailing their cars, how you're mobile and you can come to their house if that's something you offer. You're definitely gonna have a good amount of clientele to service to build up some extra money. Mowing lawns, that is like, I would say that's like the most, I don't know if it's old school or the most traditional way of getting some extra money in your pocket. It's been around for ages. Kind of like back in the day we used to have the paper girl, paper boy route. It's been around for ages. People will always need someone to mow their lawn. People do not like mowing. A lot of people this day and age, at least in my city in Houston, Texas, don't mow their own lawn. We have lawn service people. Very few people mow their lawn. I just don't really see a lot of homeowners mowing their lawn. I see a few people mowing their lawn or out there gardening, but for the most part, I see lawn service companies coming out mowing the lawns for most of the master plan communities and the regular inner city communities as well. So to mow a lawn in our city for a traditional house, I would say we pay about $40 to $80 depending on a lot size, and those are just the average lot size. But if you have a really big, lot or land, of course it's going to go over a couple of $100. But just mowing lawns, which is really cheap, you just got to go get the lawnmower, the gas or whatever, some trash bags, but that can bring you in an extra 5 houses in a week. That's definitely can help you reach your goal of the 500, or well, maybe not 5, because I just said it's about $40 to $80 for the average home. So you'll probably need about 10 a week maybe for the average size homes, and then you would need about maybe 1 or 2 if it's a commercial real estate building or some big apartment complex. You probably only just need 1, and then you'll be making like $1,000 a week or more for the bigger projects. But that's something that's really low cost, and you can get in that right away. You just got to get your name out there, and you got to advertise online and show people, you know, what you're doing and what services you offer. Videographer, because social media has become so big, I have had to hire several videographers and photographers over the years. There are people who are just way better at this video editing stuff than me, at this filming, than, you know, getting the shots right, especially if I'm out, you know, in the community doing my house tours or things like that. People can capture that way better than I'm able to do. Therefore, I usually pay like a videographer anywhere from $100 to $400 per video. So if you are really good at getting, you know, doing videos, filming them, editing them, any of that, I can imagine you cannot, with just one client, make that 500 in a week. So now that you've got that extra $500 to $2,000 a month, what are you gonna do with it? So depending on where you are in your planning your corporate escape journey, you're either gonna use that money to start paying down some of the debt you have, or you're gonna use that money to start investing. So of course, if you're on your debt reduction journey, just start piling that at all those debts you have. Just start, you know, depending on where you are, sometimes you might start with the credit cards, you might start the car loan, the student loans, but it just depends on how you're trying to tackle the debt. And if you need help with that, you know, just reach out, book a consultation. We'll just go over what strategies to tackle first. If you are trying to invest that money and make it grow, so that's 24 grand a year, and you want that to start, you know, doubling and tripling in the next few years, so you can, you know, have that financial freedom that you're striving towards, or being able to leave your job, escape and leave your job earlier than the typical retirement age, then we would look at some strategies to grow that money where you're investing it, where you're putting it in investments that's going to give you a good return, and you're able to live off that passive income in the future. So those are just some ideas. I'm going to make more videos on what my clients and myself are doing to earn extra money per week, and where that money is going and how it's growing, and how you can implement those same strategies to help in your escape plan. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next video.